Oh boy, how are you folks? Welcome to the Halloween edition of the Josh Potter Show. You know it's the Halloween edition because I got orange and black on. We have a pumpkin.
It's behind you now. I moved it. Sorry. Other shoulder.
We got a pumpkin over here. Right there. It was here before. Anyway, happy Halloween. Hope you're having all the fun. This is about as Halloween as I go. Halloween is not for the roach. I hate dressing up. I hate costumes. I hate planning. Really, that's really what it is. Planning, preparation, these are not my strengths. And Halloween is all that. Some people say Thanksgiving is all that, but really that's on one person. And I just show up and then I eat the food. So that's why Thanksgiving hasn't been cumbersome. Halloween, there's a Halloween party, 3 Halloween parties that I've been invited to on Halloween evening. And I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay in my house. I'm flying that day. It's because I don't want to plan a costume. I'm very bad at it. Nevertheless, folks, welcome to the show. TheJoshPotter.com is where you can go if you want to let me know where you want me to come, what city you're in. I'd love to know because we're plotting 2025 and dates for the end of 2024 as well. As far as dates go, I do want to mention I'm going to be in Buffalo November 30th. I'm going to be there doing the place I started comedy, Nietzsche's. It's just one show. I'm doing it with my buddy Michael Turner, who's in town for the Bills game, so we're going to have a good time. We're going to pack it out. Not a lot of seats, so get there, get to Nietzsche's, and hopefully we will see you there. I'm trying to find my own website now, because I have other dates. I'm going to be in Arizona. I want to let you know about those. December 6th and 7th. I'm going to be, I know it already, Chuckleheads in Bisbee, Arizona. That's Stanhope's thing. I'm going to be there on December 6th, and then December 7th, I will be at the Kress in Yuma, Arizona. Oh boy. And why do I remember that all of a sudden? Because December 8th, I got to get right back here because the Bills are playing in Los Angeles. And I need to be there for that. Oh, the Bills. I love them so much. Josh Allen, my sweet baby boy. I can't wait to see you. But other than that, folks, rate, review, subscribe. Send in your articles. The Josh Potter Show, joshpottershow.com. joshpottershow@gmail.com. Wow. Already off to a fantastic start on my solo episode today. And by the way, I do notice all the comments discussing my potential Asian fetish. This is just how scheduling worked the last couple weeks, okay? There's no other rhyme or reason behind it other than the pure coincidence of scheduling. There's no fetish over here. Both of them very beautiful women, obviously, but it's not a fetish thing. Otherwise, I mean, we've been doing this program for 4 years. I would have had so many more Asians in here. Are you kidding me? There's a bunch of them out there. There's a whole grip doing comedy these days. Could have had a whole bunch of Asians in here. And not just Chinese ones, too. I had 2 Chinese ones. I could have had a Japanese one. I could have had a Korean one. You know, I could have went all off the rails. If there was indeed a fetish, you would know about it, friend. All right? We don't discriminate by, what's the word? Nationality? Or I guess race. Race would have been the good word there. But we don't discriminate here on the Roach Motel as far as guests or as far as lovers. So there you go. Keep that in mind. But yet, last week we talked quite a bit about sports, and I loved it. We had such a great time to talk about sports with someone who doesn't very much follow or enjoy them is always a fun time for me. That's always my default, I notice, because you go out on the road, and sometimes you get to go on the road with your friends, and you get to have conversations with them that normally you have internally on the road, Like, for instance, I was with Annie, and you go with Annie sometimes. Annie's one of my best friends, and, we go about our business throughout the day, and we encounter some of the same people. And oftentimes there are people who are just raiders of peace. They just don't let you have a moment. You're trying to get into your own zone. You're performing and they're just up your ass. They're bothering you. And it's something that usually when you're on your own, you're just like, God, that guy sucked or whatever. And you have to just think about it. No one else is experiencing it. When you're with another person, you experience it. I'm done doing that. I don't let people do that anymore. And I forget even what my point was with all of that. The fact that, that's what it was. It's the fact that when I do get looped into these things, oftentimes I deflect with sports conversation. And I'm able to then keep this person at a distance, so to speak. Build a boundary that is just like, this is what we talk about, college football. We don't talk about life. We don't talk about dreams or goals. I don't want to hear about yours, you know? But hey, if you want to talk about how whatever baseball team's doing, I'll talk about that up and down. You got me for at least 10 minutes there. So it is fun to do that. And it just is a fun thing when a person is a fish out of water. That's what I've based this whole program on, basically. And hell, one of my favorites, Chase O'Donnell, doesn't follow. I mean, I think she purposely stops following things now, so she could be on the program and make a lot of LOLs. But we did do a lot of sports last week, and I only have a couple of sports things this time, but they are good ones. Let's get into it. A lot of them involving the Ravens.
Beep, 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 beep.
While we're in the nice boy clock, I won't discuss the queef of the week quite yet, but there is a queef of the week that involves the Ravens. There is another video that involves legendary Ravens kicker, Justin Tucker, who, I mean, he has been around for quite some time. By the way, the TV is not on. I'm seeing a change in this thing, and I'm like, oh, am I supposed to watch it in the little teensy screen? Let's get the TV on here, because I want to see this video loud and proud. Justin Tucker has been a fixture in football, I mean, probably all of my adult life. Once the TV's on, we can figure out how long he's been playing. I do believe he's 40 years old. That's what I'm going to guess right now. I'm going to guess he's right up there with Aaron Rodgers in terms of age. He's been on the Baltimore Ravens since I can remember, although I do remember the kicker before Justin Tucker was Matt Stover for the Baltimore Ravens. And the only reason I know that is because in fantasy, I had him, and he won me games a couple of times, like in clutch times, like putting up numbers. And there was a song that I came across from a morning show. I do believe it was, God, what is the morning show in Baltimore? Something in Spiegel, I do believe it was. It's still there.
Justin Scott and Spiegel?
Yes. Now type this in. Maybe this gets me flagged on YouTube. Type in Matt Stover. It's Matt Stover. Just type that in. See what comes up. Because you know the famous, and I'm going to see this, we're taping this a little early, full disclosure, because I am going to go to Austin, not only to do shows at like the Mothership or whatever, Creek in the Cave, but I'm going to see Stained and Breaking Benjamin with Daughtry, who's going to be the opener. And they did a Daughtry cover song. You know, he has that, his most famous song, probably the only one people know. It's not over. It's not over. That's remember you know the Daughtry song, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, 105.7 WHFS, Baltimore's FM Talk. We talk about all
Just
the things.
Another day, that's what they say.
This
It's
rules.
always paid the rent. It's cold and it's gray, and we're away. Now it's resting on my leg. We had a chance to take the lead, and interception by Ed Reed.
Interception by Ed Reed.
Blowing away, been fighting all day.
Great parody song,
And the
dude.
three will get us through. Time is ticking down, and now I come alive. I'm Matt Stover. The score is
Fucking
tied now,
rules,
I
dude.
nail
This
the
song
truth.
rules.
I'm Matt Stover. After 18 years, there's nothing left to prove. This here right leg still kicks it straight. So put the football down. I'm Matt Stover.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That pumped me up just now. All right, cancel it. Did I play my parody songs on here?
I don't think so. I don't
Oh
think
my
I've
God.
heard
So type in Kyle Orton, Josh Potter. It'll come up, I'm sure. Or Shred and Reagan. I used to make fun of these things. Parody songs. I thought they were gay. I thought they were stupid. But they always did tickle me. That is the one that, like,
You know, I love the Bills, man.
Fast forward through
They're
this.
all in on reasons where it doesn't matter.
You have a new starting
Here we
quarterback,
go.
Buffalo. And to celebrate,
It's all about Kyle
terrible
Orton.
morning radio shows have once again created awful rally songs. Now, Time Life has them all in one collection.
Oh, Orton. You know, I never believed it'd be so. It's Orton.
That one was a little long.
Oh no.
It's a
This
montage.
exclusive 12-disc collection is
12
all
discs.
Kyle Orton all the time.
Throw us a pass, Kyle Orton. Throw us a pass tonight.
Yeah.
When we're all in the mood for a victory. And you can throw all right.
Lazy parody songs from morning radio shows that stopped trying well before the turn of the millennium.
Hell yeah.
He's in, then he's out. Bills up, then Bills down. Get the back up. Quarterback in now. Keep Orton.
See how they get progressively
it's
bad?
Time Life's Kyle Orton Rally Song Collection.
It's about time you put in Kyle Orton.
Order now.
Such a lovely face with a neck beard.
Shred and Reagan in the morning.
There you go. See, I made fun of the... But Matt Stover one is electric. I mean, that song is... Chef's kiss, buddy. That's great. So he was a kicker for 18 years, Matt Stover. And then Justin Tucker has been the kicker ever since then. Can you Google Justin Tucker? Just give me a quick Wikipedia search on that. If Google doesn't find this one, I'm going to blame Google instead of you there, Alex. But what what does it say there? How old is old Justin Tucker these days? He's
34.
34? I thought he would have been way older. So how long has he been kicking for the Baltimore Ravens? Since what year? I'm going to guess 2015. What does it say? Go up to the top. It can say when he got signed or drafted. It says there at the career history. What does it say that first
Signed
year?
with them in 2012.
2012. All right. I was a little off. See, that's still quite a long time. That's 12 years. I mean, he's been with them since he's been 22. Golly. So all that to bring up this thing. Justin Tucker, obviously the talk of many broadcasts. He's put many game-winning kicks away. Let's see what these two gentlemen are discussing. This is off of one of the football shows during the day you watch. Now these guys have got lazy since COVID. I got to tell you, they're not in the studio anymore. They're all, look at the guys behind it. They're all in their dens of their house, or they put up their little shelves with their books or their pictures. Here's me with the President Jimmy Carter or whatever. You know, it's just play these guys talking in their house.
Good team. One that there's still some of those ghosts of Justin Tucker banging a 60-year-old 16-yard field goal over the off the crossbar.
What? This guy's getting a little too comfortable in his house.
Last year by pulling together.
The other guy couldn't even hide it. See, the other guy threw him under the bus.
Obviously has a lot going
Pause
for
it.
him.
You don't need to hear the rest of that. I mean, we heard what he said. Justin Tucker banging a 60-year-old, did he say, or a 16-year-old?
I think I heard 60.
60, yeah, because that would be more impressive in terms of a field goal, not a six. No one's kicking 16-yarders. I mean, he's banging a 60-year-old. I mean, a 60-yard field goal. And sure, you get a little chuckle out of it. This guy throwing him under the bus, his partner over here on the right. I don't know if this guy and him are debating. I'm not sure the format of this program in particular. But this guy, they're both in their houses. So this guy's getting a little comfortable. He's saying banging a 60-year-old. And the other guy's like, if you're in the studio with that guy, you got to raise him up. You can't allow him to just dangle on the vine like that unless you're Shaq or something. You're one of the guys on the NBA Tonight thing or whatever that is on TNT. They throw each other on the bus constantly. It's become part of their shtick, but they don't care. They're Shaq and Charles Barkley. They're huge celebrities. Who knows who this guy is going to get fired in 2 seconds. He's in he didn't even wear a tie. These guys don't even have ties on, Let's have some fucking respect for the craft, fellas. Here, I'm not wearing a tie, but this is my own business, my own show. You're on ESPN. You're talking about NFL football, and you're in your fucking house. You can't even put a tie on. These guys blow. Anyhow, that's Justin Tucker. Now, elsewhere in Ravens fandom, there is a highly voted for
Queef of the week.
And that is this gentleman, John Callis. And this guy, he was captured on video pummeling 2 Commanders fans on October 13th, and he has been denied bail, thankfully. We have video of him, doing this. He took video of himself doing this, or did
One of his friends.
To, catch it? Yeah,
no, it's one of his friends following him.
Yeah, his buddy, who also should be probably put into jail of some kind, too, because he's like, hey, dude, I'm gonna sucker punch some Commanders fans. It'll totally go viral. Will you film it? And this guy's like, oh, yeah, sure, dude. And he's got the camera and he's following him around snickering, and then he does it. And the fact that you're videoing it and not horrified is insane. So play it for us. Let's watch it.
Do we got to strangle him? Do we got a straggler? 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 I don't lose. Yeah! Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Queef of the week.
I mean, this guy blows. I thought he had more videos too. I didn't realize. I did see like a GIF of it, and so or GIF. I don't know exactly which way you say it. And I saw him pummel a guy, but that one he had two dudes. They go at it, and this is like my worst nightmare as a fan. I mean, in Buffalo, if I saw guys doing this that were Bills fans, I would be appalled. I would do something. I mean, that's not what fandom's about. Sure, we throw ourselves through tables and break our legs. We'd walk on hot coals. It's all self-affliction, the type of stuff going on at a Bills game. I've heard, my parents used to go down to Miami to go to Dolphins games in the 90s, and that's where I would hear about all the hullabaloo and the scuffle was by Dolphins fans acting up. I never heard much. I mean, I'm sure there's Bills fans that have done horrible shit. Don't fucking go start mining the internet to prove me wrong. I'm just saying the greater part of Bills fandom, we don't really act this way. We'll talk shit to you, and then we'll throw ourselves through a fucking fiery table. But as far as violence goes, I feel like we're one of the better fan bases as far as that goes. And in terms of this, though, this is my nightmare. My parents, like I said, they went down to Miami a bunch. They went to Dolphins games, and they would always hear about like the guy behind him would like dump a beer on him. First of all, what a waste of beer. Unbelievable. And nowadays beers cost like $17. No one's dumping beer on people, I would hope. If you are, you don't deserve to go buy another one. But I don't hear about this very often in Bills fandom, and this is my nightmare, to go to an away game and get just like have like a life-changing sucker punch because I'm wearing a Josh Allen jersey. That makes it scary, and no one wants that. I mean, they've had stabbings in certain, when the Raiders fans and the 49ers fans get together, oh boy. And I don't even understand why. Maybe the Oakland-San Francisco thing, but they don't often play one another. But boy, oh boy, there was like a stabbing one time. This guy, though, finally, I mean, he put it on video, and then it got out onto the internet, obviously. Oh, you mean you doing a crime on TikTok? No way that you got caught at the end of that. John Callis is 24 years old. He ended up turning himself into Baltimore police earlier in the week on charges of first-degree aggravated assault and second-degree assault. His defense attorney, Brian Thompson, lobbied for Callis to be released into an outpatient rehab program for years-long cocaine addiction and alcoholism. Years-long. Kid's 24 years old. He's just being 24 when it comes to those things. And as a person who does drugs and alcohol, I hate this defense. Because I would do all those things. I would never punch anybody in the side of the head. I'd never walk up to a group of opposing fans and just fucking sucker punch a couple of them and throw them around. We got stragglers. Obviously, he picked very small ones too. And also, they're probably drunk. They just lost. They're coming out of a bar or something. And they're just like, probably at the end of the day, pretty fucked up in terms of like not expecting. They see Ravens jerseys up and down the street. They're not expecting to get the shit kicked out of them all of a sudden. So his attorney goes on to say, I don't believe this is first-degree assault. I think it's second-degree assault. First-degree assault requires serious bodily injury. Is it disappointing he wasn't allowed to be put in this one promise facility? Of course it's disappointing. I think he needs help. The criminal justice system is both designed to punish and rehabilitate. He's a 24-year-old kid. He clearly has a problem. He needs help. That's tough to cite. I mean, God, I don't know how much coke this guy's doing. But he sounds like just an asshole. I mean, I know tons of people who do coke out the rails, like probably more than they should, to the point of a problem. They're not doing this kind of thing. They're ruining their own lives. Of course. Are they, do they have negative impact on their relationships? Duh. They're not punching anybody randomly in the street, though. Something tells me this guy would act like an asshole no matter the circumstance at all. But yeah, no, they have this quote here. I don't lose. I don't fucking lose. Except for when it comes to this court case. You're going to probably lose pretty bad. Today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by Built. B-I-L-T, Built, baby. Listen up, renters. You ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments? I know I've felt that way plenty of times. I'm like, oh my God, it's the first again. Just watching your money vanish into thin air. It's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that's going to be hooking you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points just roll on in. It makes you feel like you're doing something good when you're paying your rent. Use points to jet off to a dream vacation. Put your points toward a flight or hotel stay. I mean, there's 500 plus airlines, 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, and you redeem them toward a future rent payment. They're designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game is just got a major upgrade through this whole thing. So you pay it through the Built Rewards app, boom, points start pouring on in. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and by Bankrate. So earn points by paying rent right now when you go to join built.com/Potter. That's JOINBILT.com/Potter. Joinbuilt.com/Potter. Make sure you use the URL that we got here in the description so that we know that, or they know that we sent you on in there, because it helps your boy out here. Joinbuilt.com/Potter to start earning points with your rent payments today. Well, speaking of somebody else who is doing some drunk acts, this one was sent in by a whole shit ton of people, but GL in Ottawa is the first one to give it to me, and that's appropriate because it involves hockey. And it's a video of a man from Gatineau. He was arrested for resurfacing the ice under the influence. And we've got a 30-second video here released by local police of the driver of the Zamboni. He can be seen dressed as a kangaroo with a hood over his head as he begins to resurface the ice, and then he crashes at the far end. Let's watch it. Zamboni drivers, by the way, they always dress like fucking weirdos. So, I mean, the kangaroo thing isn't bad. It is funny that there is no audience for this. He's just resurfacing the ice. And there is another guy out there who would know if he was drunk or not, I suppose. Wouldn't you think? Yadadi, yadadi, I'm resurfacing the ice here for you. La da 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 dee. Oh, God. What, did he fall asleep at the wheel? Up, back her up. Now they're shouting at him. I always thought it was crazy that Zambonis don't get in more, because those things are clipping, dude. You think they go slow. That guy was kind of going slow, but you watch like a pro Zamboni get down ice side and you're watching him resurface. That thing whips past you pretty fast. And the fact that they get into the corner and like, and the speed of which they resurface the ice during pro games, oftentimes they have a tandem of Zambonis out there. And sometimes I feel like they're doing like hot shot shit. You know, because there's like a girl on the hood of it, you know, sometimes a cheerleader or what have you. But boy, oh boy, I hope it doesn't. I mean, it is crazy that you can get charged and arrested for operating a Zamboni where there's no traffic, by the way. This is inside of a rink. It's not like he broke through the rink wall and then took it out onto the highway. You know, it's crazy that they could get him for that. You know, isn't it kind of bizarre? He's inside. Could you get like arrested for drunk driving a go-kart?
I mean, probably. I just like the phrase resurfacing the ice under the influence. Like, does this guy have an RTIUI on his record? Is that?
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's so weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not driving really necessarily. Like, I know you can get a DUI on a bicycle.
Yeah.
But these are things that are out in traffic. This is not out in traffic. Like, again, if I go to a go-kart place, do go-kart places sell beer? Why can't I think of if they do or not? I would imagine I've had a beer or two and then gone on go-karts.
Yeah, it feels like a thing like you could do at a theme park, and they're probably not like alcohol testing people. I don't know. I imagine if you were like obviously shit-faced and like running into people at the go-karts on Disneyland and like crashing shit, they might try to hit you with like a public intoxication thing. But
that's true. If you do hurt somebody, they might then do a tox sort of situation. Like I guess you'd have to severely hurt somebody.
Yeah, or just like make a public nuisance and like force them to shut a ride. I feel like Disney will come down on you.
Yeah, but this is like a workplace situation. Like if my boss was like seemed drunk, I'd be like, I'll level with you. I had a couple beers before I resurfaced the ice. And then he'd be like, all right, I have to call the police. Why? No one's hurt. Obviously, like, no one got hurt. We broke some things, whatever. Sure, take it out of my paycheck. My Zamboni driver paycheck.
It kind of looks like like there was a ref on the ice with him who was like in front of it at one point when he like backed up and then started to go again. And I feel like if I was that guy, I'd be pissed. Like,
well, yeah, is he in a ref outfit? Because that's another thing. I was like, is this during a game? Because it's a very lightly attended game. It looks like it's just like
it's like a public rink.
Yeah, it looks like a public rink, like after a free skate or something. Because there's nobody in there. Is that a ref though?
I mean, he's like in
a got the stripes?
Yeah, he's in a vertical like black and white.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shirt,
so maybe a game is about to start or something, or there is about to be. There looks like there is no people in this.
Yeah, it looks like there's at least like team, or maybe there's like spectators.
Are those
like,
children?
Like free skating.
Maybe that's why too.
Yeah, it seems like a public rink type situation.
I see.
But I also will be honest, like I kind of just assumed the Zambonis like followed the curve of the ice. I don't think I realized you had to like turn at them.
Steer them? What do you think?
Yeah, like of course you got to steer them, but I don't know, for some reason I just didn't assume it would be powerful enough to like knock through that sidewall.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. That one is a smaller looking one. I mean, this is also this like wall eye.
Yeah, it's like a fence
or whatever. And I do believe they have bigger ones and smaller ones. Like if you're in a pro game, they'd be much bigger, I think. But that I've seen tiny ones. I've seen ones that guys like even stand on the back of them. But yeah, I mean, I knew you had to steer them. I've seen Zamboni accident. Can you Google just to see like what comes up if you type in Zamboni accident? Because I think there's like some from the professional level that we can find. Ooh, here we go. Red Wings Islanders. We got to turn on the sound for this one.
We'll be shooting at in the third period. And I guess this is what you call working the home ice advantage as best you can. See, the Zamboni chopped up the area to make it very difficult for anyone to complete a pass or skate comfortable. I don't know. Just kidding about that. But the Zamboni obviously worked up some excess chips or maybe cut a hole or two that needed to be repaired. And this is in actual time here. We should be getting set to drop the puck right about now, but
now we see John Tavares coming over. He probably wants to get.
Yeah, they got to examine the ice on this one. That's hilarious. That's just look at. They're going to go all. This happens in the NFL too. You can pause this. I don't want to watch it anymore. You can. You see this in the NFL too when it comes to fields, like especially during preseason games. It's almost just like a thing to get out of playing the game. They're like, this field's not up to snuff. I'm not bringing my players out here. I'm not doing it. But yeah, that's the same thing with that ice. Like if they chop a fucking thing through the middle, you know, that's how it goes. But we'll move on, onward and upward. There is a case inside of sports that involves some murder.
Murder.
And a Canadian former Olympic snowboarder is wanted in Ontario. Another Canadian story. This is from Brandon in Halifax. A Canadian former Olympic snowboarder who is suspected of being the leader of a transnational drug trafficking group that operated in 4 countries is wanted for allegedly orchestrating the murder of an innocent couple in Caledon in 2023, authorities say. So this is like I mean, I thought, you know, these Olympic snowboarders should get paid a little bit better, but I didn't know they were getting paid so poorly that this person has to run a transnational drug trafficking group and also commit murder. The U.S. Department of Justice announced on Thursday that 43-year-old Ryan James Wedding, who competed for Canada in the 2002 Winter Olympics over in Salt Lake City, along with 34-year-old Andrew Clark, allegedly directed the November 20th, 2023 murders in relation for a stolen drug shipment that passed through Southern California. During police news conference in L.A. on Thursday, right here in our backyard, Commissioner Marty Kearns said the victims who were killed, Jagtar Singh Sidhu, and these names are insane, Harbhajan Kaur Sidhu, these are a couple evidently, and their daughter, Jaspreet Kaur Sidhu, who survived the shooting, were completely innocent. Okay, let's see. Our investigation has determined that these 3 victims were mistakenly targeted and were not involved in the alleged trafficking organization. Now that is some bad luck, let me tell you. You're just with your family and you're mistaken for members of a drug trafficking organization and you get murdered by the rivals. Golly, talk about a bad day. Police say that at the time, they believed the triple shooting was a case of mistaken identity as they searched for suspects identified in a joint investigation with OPP dubbed Project Midnight. That's some bad crime. To really fuck up that way and like kill a family, I would just turn myself in if I was these guys. Like, yeah, I've done some crazy shit, but boy, oh boy, Project Midnight, that's on me. I blew it. I blew Project Midnight. I'm immensely grateful and proud of the exceptional coordination among all involved services. It is truly a testament of how collaboration and investigative diligence across multiple borders has successfully identified those responsible. I like how the cops are like bragging. They're like, we got him, folks. Yeah, he did commit triple homicide, but we got him. I know he did a whole bunch of other stuff too, but finally, it took him murdering this family for me to really be proud of myself and end this whole thing. We respect and value all our relationships, and the relationships with our U.S. authorities is equal to that. We will communicate with anybody that can help solve crime and bring people to justice. Man, so Canada had their cops on it too. They had their fucking Mounties or whatever out there as well. Wedding, who his aliases are El Jefe, Giant, and Public Enemy. That's such Canadian aliases. Like, what is this, Lasertron, and you're just giving your fucking Nate gamer tags in there? I mean, that's crazy. What a loser. He is the lead defendant in the indictment and is wanted on 8 charges, including 3 counts of murder in connection with continuing criminal enterprise. Clark, who is known as the alias The Dictator. Golly. They should just be arrested for having uncreative names at the end of the day.
They're just movies. Like
El Jefe, it's like, your name is, you're the whitest, you're a snowboarder, you fucking dork.
Canadian snowboarder.
Canadian snowboarder. What a loser. All right, let's get into the news.
That
sports went longer than I even anticipated. It's because we were talking about Matt Stover, and boy, oh boy, that song, I'm going to be singing that for the rest of the month. I mean, that song gets in your head. I wish I could just download it on Spotify for Christ's sake, but alas, here we are. What a world. Anyway, let's move on with the news. Luke Rutz sent this in, Josh Potter's show at gmail.com. And I think this is fun, kind of. I mean, I'm like all about assisted suicide. I don't even know if I could say it on, it's for news. Okay, YouTube. All right, listen, this is a news story. So I'm going to say the word. Do not penalize me. Do not give me the yellow $sign. This is news. All right. So we're going to say the word like adults. That's the disclaimer. All right. Retired cop 80 shot his wife in a merciful end to her Alzheimer's disease, a 911 call shows. That's a wild way to do assisted suicide, you know? To do it death by cop. Golly. I mean, I know this was like her husband, and he just like, I mean, to take your wife out back and just be like, that's crazy. YouTube's going to be mad at that one. But that's crazy. I mean, I would do it if I was going to do assisted, if I was going to do an assisted cop thingy, I would do it like, what's his name? Like Dally in The Outsiders, you know? And he's like, stay golden, pony boy. And then he just pulls out a fake BB gun and gets murdered. Or I don't even know if he pulled out. I forget how it worked. He wanted the cops to just shoot the hell out of him in The Outsiders. You read The Outsiders?
No, I haven't read it.
Oh my God. What school did you go to that you didn't read The Outsiders? Come on. Never saw the movie? Tom Cruise and all those gents?
No, I feel like I'm just disappointing you this episode.
Stay golden, pony. I know. It's tough. No, I'm just kidding. But anywho, let's get into the story, because this is like, she obviously didn't go out there and was like, you never take me alive, coppers, and then go down in a hail of bullets, you know, the way that he did in The Outsiders. He was a retired Grand Haven police sergeant, 30 years on the job. His wife retired after 30 years as an elementary school teacher. William Bill Kitzmiller and his wife Donna, both 80, were married 54 years, and they were true partners in life. They died together too. Oh, so did he die? The husband in late September called Ottawa County's Central Dispatch to report that he killed his wife, who suffered from Alzheimer's, and he would soon be killing himself too. I've given my wife a merciful ending from her Alzheimer's disease, and I'm going to follow her now in death. Oh my God.
Dude, it's that Nick Offerman episode of The Last of Us. He like, I don't know. It's like,
yeah, but wasn't The Last of Us about this guy still could like watch television, you know what I mean? This guy could go to a restaurant.
Yeah, but he didn't want to live on without his wife. I don't know. Like I don't know. I feel like some people would view that as romantic. It's dark.
It's darkly romantic. It is romantic, I will say. I mean, the woman had Alzheimer's. That is just a tough thing to deal with. I mean, what if he's like, he caught her, because Alzheimer's people, they really go off the rails. Like, you don't know who anyone is. She could have like fucked the mailman and just was like, I'm not married. I'm a hot 22-year-old woman. I'm going to fuck them. And then maybe, what if he's like, I know it's the Alzheimer's, but goddamn, it's killing me. Because, I mean, Alzheimer's is the worst. And she can't even, it's tough. That's why you got to do it in advance. Like, if I get Alzheimer's, I would want you to just end it before. Once it gets to the point where I'm looking at you blankly and I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know who I'm talking to because I have no one in my life. So it's like, I'm like the one person I am in love with. If I look at them and I don't know them anymore, do it. And I'm signing off on it now while I'm of full mind. I don't know if that's what this woman did when she was diagnosed, or if she was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like the fear. This random man is trying to shoot me. He doesn't even know it's her husband. It's got to be a scary end at the very least. Unless she was just like, looking at something shiny and he came up behind her and execution styled it. I don't know. So he says this on the 911 call. I've given my wife a merciful ending from her Alzheimer's disease, and I'm going to follow her now in death. Moments later, a gunshot sounded. Ottawa County Sheriff's Captain Jacob Sparks said that out of respect for the couple's family, he would not identify the husband and wife or disclose any health-related information. A relative also declined to comment. So they got their identity. Didn't I just say their names? Or maybe I didn't. I mean, they're like, they'd say his job and everything else, so why don't they just...
Yeah, no, you got it. You said their names.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that didn't last long. A recording of the 911 call obtained by ML Live, the Grand Rapids Press, in a Freedom of Information request, death certificates, and an obituary showed that the Kitzmillers were the couple who died in the murder-suicide at the house. M Live has decided to tell the Kitzmiller story because the information may help others who are caregivers to loved one battling a disease. I mean, what does this help? That you have this option? I mean, what is the thing that we're doing here? Does it have the 911 call?
No, not on here.
I mean, that would be wild. They just transcribed it. That would be a wild thing to listen to, I would imagine. Yeah. I would still do it. YouTube would be very upset. Caregivers report higher levels of stress than the general population. You don't say. I mean, what kind of study is that? 14% of the U.S. population provides unpaid care to someone 65 and older who needs help because of conditions of aging. 65 and older. It gets crazy. I'm like almost 40. We're getting close, dude. Who's going to caregive me? Kathleen Ribbit Payne, communications director for the Alzheimer's Association of Michigan, did not know the Kitzmiller circumstances, but said that being a caregiver is a difficult role. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's awful. And, the people that do it don't get enough credit. And I guess this guy, he was like sweet, sweet relief, and he just turned the gun on himself. Maybe it's not a romantic thing. Maybe he's just so exhausted from like taking care of someone with Alzheimer's that he's like, I'm done, dude. I'm done. In some areas, small stipends are available so a caregiver can hire someone to give them a break. It's a really challenging disease to care for people living with this. Of course it is. Ever watch there's a Glenn Campbell documentary where he has Alzheimer's and it shows him getting worse and worse. It's called I'll Be Me. And it shows him just getting worse and worse and worse. And the only thing that he can remember at the end is his music. And they act like, oh, we got to get Glenn. This is what keeps Glenn with us. It keeps him attached to reality, is him playing his music. When in actuality, I'm like, this is like some slave shit there. He doesn't remember where he was like walking up to shadows on the ground thinking they were holes in the ground. That's how fucking gone he was. But then he'd pick up a guitar and be like, I'm a rhinestone cowboy. I mean, know the words. It was crazy. I mean, it's a hell of a documentary. It made me cry a lot. Glenn Campbell's one of my favorite musicians, but I nevertheless, Galveston, he would like be up there and then someone would be playing And he'd be like, it's a B. You're supposed to play a B. And they would be like, Glenn, it's not a B. And then someone would, like, one of his daughter or his wife would be like, just play it for him so he hears that it's wrong. And then he'll realize that it's not. And then he'll do it and be like, oh, yeah, okay. But boy, oh boy, at the end it gets dark. And you're like, I mean, it's dark throughout the whole thing. But in the end, you're like, man, I don't know, this is like elder abuse that he's still going out there and performing. You know, they say that about Frankie Valli, but he's got his mind with him, Frankie Valli. He's going up there like a Jimmy Carter, like a corpse. And he's not even singing. They're just playing Frankie Valli music, and he's just like lip syncing it. Because he cannot sing like that anymore. He's 90. He can't even move. Yeah. And people are like, that's elder abuse. You know, you're just using him for money. But Frankie Valli's like, what else am I going to do? This is my whole life. I like this. I want to do this till I die. And that's going to be me. You know, you can put my jokes on like a CD, and I'm going to be up there, and I'm just going to be like just standing there. Maybe I'll be in a wheelchair or something, the way Rickles was at the end. Who knows? Who knows? The biggest thing to tell people is we are here to help people in their time of need. I don't know if that's true. If it's 3:30 in the morning and you don't know what to do, call and get help. She said that Alzheimer's community is encouraged by advances in medication. She said that early diagnosis is important. Yeah. God, it's the darkest one. You could have all your physical faculties and then you get Alzheimer's, and that is like the gnarliest shit, in my opinion. Yeah. Crazy. They didn't show this in the documentary, but Glenn Campbell has a hot daughter, and he was like talking to her and he forgot who she was. I'm like, I guarantee Glenn Campbell hit on his own daughter many times. He was a ladies' man, and he was very charming. And he would forget that he was married whilst having Alzheimer's. So, I mean, I'm sure they didn't put it in there. Ashley Campbell, talented musician, gorgeous. I haven't heard much from her since this movie, but she's still out there playing music, I would imagine. Well, elsewhere in the news, Max Mashenko sent this in with, and so did Colorado Lucas. Lucas has changed his name. This man he's not a first-time Roach reporter, but he's now under a new nom de plume. Germany Coke Pizza. What? This pizzeria, evidently in Germany, busted for selling its pizza with a side of cocaine. Oh, if only the Ravens fan ate there. He might not have been punching people. He would have been so happy. That's the thing. When people blame drugs for being violent, it makes me so upset. Because I would be so happy. If you have drugs, you should be happy. You should be excited. Life is great. I'm on drugs. In Berlin, German police busted a pizzeria in the western city of Dusseldorf. It also delivered a side order of cocaine when customers asked for item number 40 on the menu. Oh, that's so cool. God, how sick is that? I mean, honestly.
It's pretty fun.
If you just knew the order, like, wait till we get an item number 40. I wonder how many people were aware of this. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, you can't put it on the menu necessarily. You can't be like, item 40, and it's a bag of Coke. I mean, how does word get around about that? Is it a delivery guy? I can't wait to find out. That was one of the best-selling pizzas, said criminal director Michael Graf von Moltke. And what a name. He said that police were first tipped off by suspicious food inspectors in March. When drug squad officers began observing the restaurant, they soon discovered why pizza number 40 was so popular. German news agency, I'm sorry, this is a terribly written article. When police buzzed the apartment of the pizzeria manager, it's an apartment? Oh, you mean they went to his house. The 36-year-old allegedly threw a bag of drugs out of the window, which fell right into the arms of police officers. Yeah, when you're ditching your drugs, make sure it's not into the arm, like they're down there to catch it. That's a terrible way. You might as well flush them down the toilet or something. Boy, oh boy, that's poor luck for this fella. The bounty included 3.5 pounds of cocaine, 400 grams of cannabis, and 268,000 euros. Police said that the restaurant manager, who was released from detention after a few days, soon reopened his business and started selling pizza number 40 with the cocaine side order again. At least change the number. Make it order number 6 or something. Come on. That gave investigators an opportunity to look into the supply chain, and after several weeks, some 150 officers busted an entire drug ring in Western Germany, arrested 3 suspects, including 22-year-old head of the drug operation, and raided homes and businesses of another 12 suspects. all because of this pizza thing. It seems like a sloppy way to distribute drugs. I'm not a drug dealer, don't know much about it. I met a couple in my day, but they weren't top-end guys. This seems like it is a tough way to do business. During the raids, they came across 2 cannabis plantations in nearby. Who cares about weed? Come on. They also found cutting and stabbing weapons. I mean, that's for cutting the... it's for doing coke. I mean, come on. Cutting and stabbing? I mean, this is for chopping up. Come on, cops. Cops love doing that shit. The pizzeria manager was arrested when he tried to flee abroad and remains in custody. None of the suspects' names were released. Police did not say how much the pizzeria charged for the special order. Yeah, there was nothing in this report that came out about the special order. I wanted to hear from some of the clientele, you know? Can you get order number 40 delivered? I mean, what was the pizza that it came with? That would be something. Can you get you're like, yeah, and a large with mushrooms. I don't even want the pizza. Just give me my fucking Coke. Wild, wild, wild. We have a semen terrorist. This is from Allie, and I believe this is just a video.
Dramatic, but
oh my God, she's British. I hate to be dramatic. Let's watch.
Not to be dramatic, but I'm pretty sure someone has shot a load into my burger. What is that?
Ew. That's one.
What is going on recently? I'm finding fish on my doorstep. Baby batter in my burgers. Please. I don't deserve this.
That's crazy. I mean, the gooiness of that load. I guess I should come into a burger just to do some research and see what it would look like all melty in there. I mean, I don't know. Can you give me a screen grab of just when she makes it right before she gagged? Just give me some screen looks at this. That doesn't. At first, I'm like, that's cheese.
That was my thought. Is like it.
Jizz does not do that. At least I've never. I got to play with my jizz more or something. That jizz is crazy. If that's jizz and it's like holding 2 buns together like that, where it. I mean, look at when she pulls it apart. The gooiness of that.
No, that's cheese or like burger sauce that's like a little cold or something.
Jizz would do that minutely. There's no chance it would be that color also.
Well, it wouldn't stick to the top burger. I feel like it would separate sooner.
Put this video into a special save file because we're having Dr. Drew on here soon and we're going to find out. Does Jizz ever do that? He'd know.
Cool.
I need to find out.
I'm on it.
I'm literally just going to book Dr. Drew for that. He'll be like, oh, it's at the Comedy Store now, huh? I'm like, yeah, big to do. And then he'll get here. I'll be like, all right, this is why you're here. Does Jizz do this? If your Jizz does this out there, folks, I don't mind. You can send me emails. joshpottershow@gmail.com. Show me. Put your Jizz on a burger and show me that it does that. And then I'll believe this lady. She's also getting fish on her doorstep. I think she's a little paranoid. She is very pretty. She probably has some losers out there since she puts herself on the internet who are bothering her. And she's now paranoid. Also, it's like, do you, when you buy burgers, open them like that? I guess if you were like asking for something to be left off the burger, you're just checking to see. But who's like peeling open burgers?
Yeah, I've never checked an item of fast food in my life.
It looks like there's a bite there. And maybe she was like, was this cheese?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they call cum in Britain.
Spunk?
I think somebody spunked in me burger. Wild stuff. I mean, again, folks, I would like to know. I don't care. I'm sitting here. Use this in a court of law. Jizz into a burger and show me what it does. Because, I mean, not everyone has the same jizz. Not everyone has the same viscosity, color. Maybe that is what other people's jizz does. And mine certainly wouldn't do that. Wouldn't look like that. I'm telling you that right now. But I'll find out with you. All right? I think it's just gross cheese from a fast food place. So I think it's a false alarm in terms of semen terrorism today.
The terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers.
You got a false alarm here, folks.
Thank you.
It's just cheese, I think.
Now watch this drive.
From a hot British lady's paranoia. Now watch this drive. Hell yeah. Well, we have a bad teacher in the news again today. Luke Rutz sent this bad boy in, joshpottershow@gmail.com. It's about a teacher. Maybe, I mean, in terms of the teachers we've had in the past, this one might actually be like kind of on the low end, turns out. Southwest Miami-Dade area of town, middle school teacher was reassigned. Oh, good. So he's not fired, just, hey, why don't you go to a different school? He was reassigned after he was caught in a disturbing act that was recorded on video and has triggered an investigation. What was the video, of course? Video posted on social media shows the unidentified teacher bending down in a classroom, pulling out an item from a backpack, and taking a long whiff. Oh, boy. We got the video?
I think it's the newsreel. Let me see.
I want to see the newsreel. I don't care. I want to hear what they say. Today, a Miami-Dade County teacher has been relocated after sniffing an item in a locker room. Ashley has the report.
A South Florida teacher reassigned after being caught in a disturbing act, and now
Can you
there's
pause
an
this video?
investigation underway.
Because I did that perfectly, for the record. I did exactly what she just said. Today, a Miami-Dade County teacher reassigned after caught in a lewd act. Erica, please, with the report. Go.
7's Jessica Vallejo is live in Southwest Miami-Dade with more on this story for us. Jessica?
The incident at McMillan Middle School remains being investigated, but we've learned through students and parents that he was a biology teacher, and they described him as a reserved man. Many, as you can imagine, are just shocked. Caught on camera, a middle school teacher at Howard
Can you pause it?
McMillan.
I love local news packages so much. They're so predictable. It's just, I do a stand-up where I present the case, roll the B-roll, I talk over it. She had to do a voiceover. She had to sit in a room and do a voiceover of this case. I mean, think about what went into it. And then she did her stand-up outside the school where they throw it to her, which is needless, but they still did it. And she's like fucking up the word biology and everything else. So she had to go to that school and just do a stand-up for 30 seconds. It'll cut to her afterwards, and then she'll be like, officials tell me that the teacher has been relocated, and it'll be under investigation, yada, yada, yada. And then she'll be like, all right, we got it. And some guy had to stand there with a fucking camera. Although nowadays, in today's media landscape, she probably had to also drive the broadcast van there and set up her own camera and shot. Just saying. Call them backpack journalists in the biz. Go ahead.
Bending down in a classroom, pulling out an item from a backpack, and then sniffing it. Not just once, but 3 times. That's been horrible. Parents say what he sniffled was a female student's shorts, and they are disgusted.
3 times, pal? Pause it.
She's gonna be.
What on earth could that have smelled like? That he was like, I gotta get 3 of these. Oh, what is he looking for? That's wild. I mean, that is like almost more heinous than him just actually molesting anybody. You know what I mean? That is just like this. Not only is he a pervert and a creep, he's also gross and disgusting on top of it. Unbelievable. Yeah, this lady, I don't even know who this woman is that they're interviewing. They're just like, hey, what do you think about a teacher sniffing a little girl's shorts? And then they just put the microphone into the window of the car. This guy's eating a sandwich back there. Right? Is that what he's doing?
No, texting.
Oh, and it's like, we don't want to know your opinion, sir. Go back. I want to listen to this lady talk for a second. Just go back slightly. Yeah,
Bad for the little girl and feel bad for those parents.
oh, do you?
She's going to be traumatized.
Parents say the school did
What an
notify them
LOL
of an
she had there.
incident
She
with a
laughed.
professor.
It was a teacher who committed some kind of a felony or something, they said. But they did say the story, though. They did.
Miami-Dade County Public Schools has since released a statement saying, quote, the employee has been temporarily reassigned from the school setting pending the outcome of the investigation into the allegations. This parent says the school taking action makes
Can
her
you pause it
feel
again?
secure.
This poor woman who's getting these shots, she's like, what is she standing at the pickup line for the cars? I mean, golly, she's like,
Brutal.
and how many do you think rejected her before she found a couple people to talk? Do you want to talk about the panty sniffing teacher? And she's just sticking microphones into people's windows as they're driving by. Unbelievable. And then she has to get them to, by the way, I think sign something. I don't remember especially if it's a case like this, I think they have to sign something. And they have to spell their name, yada, yada. Although they didn't put these people's names in, I don't think. Go ahead.
After being caught in a
pending the outcome of the investigation into the allegations. This parent says a school taking action makes her feel secured. But others at McMillan Middle School say
English.
they want more done.
She just said it's for my
He
security.
should be detained. Like, he should, like, stay away from kids. He should stay from, like, he should just not be around.
Oh, thank you. What else? I mean, pause it, please. This is so low. I mean, local news is so weird and goofy to me because it's like they want to get a reaction, right? Of a person in the community. You want to get out there and talk to people. In theory, it all makes complete sense. But then the ones that they use, this is like, she's literally using the ones that she got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's not like investigating anything or like going above and beyond. And I know she's probably crunched for time. She makes dog shit money. I know that for a fact. That is a fact, Jack. She makes dog shit money. She's like, probably goes home and cries and like eats in a bowl of spaghetti at night or something like that. These women in local news are literally doing this until like they meet a dentist, they meet a politician, they meet somebody who can pull them out of this terrible, terrible swamp of a career being in local news. At first, maybe they have dreams like, I'm going to be on CNN someday. I'm going to be on Good Morning America. Now those institutions have crumbled already anyway. So what is their goal? They don't really, I want to be a great journalist. No, that is not it. They just want to do this until someone comes along, saves them, marries them, lets them stay home all day while they, that is, I mean, I've met a few of them. So this woman is not even trying. That kid, I hope he stays away forever. It's like, yeah, okay. No shit. Let's just say this one's not winning a Pulitzer. Go ahead.
Again, the incident at McMillan Middle School remains being investigated. I'm live in Southwest Miami-Dade. Jessica Vallejo.
Jessica Vallejo, hit me up. Come move out to LA. We'll make it okay. All right? Come visit. We'll find something for you. You don't have to do this anymore. You're very beautiful. You fucked up biology, but we can work on that. Come on out to LA and really make a go at it. Forget this racket here. Look at it. She's done. She doesn't want to do it. She's fried. She's like, I got to go do the fucking middle school panty sniffer story. God.
She's been at that school for 6 hours, like since 5 a.m.
Oh my God. No, she hasn't.
No, you don't think
She's been at that school. Early? She had to do the stand-up. She probably went there and shot, literally, I got 3 cars. That's all I needed. I can plug this in. I got the fucking video. All people want to see is the video of him sniffing stuff. I blurred out his face. She's in there all day doing that horse shit. And then she's like, all right, now I got to go drive back there and do a stand-up. And she's just got the lighting. She's barely, who knows if she's even at the school. That's what I started doing, like in radio, because I realized no one can see me. I'm not going to the place. And I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd be like, yeah, I'm at Niagara Falls. Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, no one fucking knew it at a certain point. This poor girl, though. I'm not even thinking about the story any longer. I just want to save Jessica Vallejo. If you have a local news lady out there who wants to be saved, submit them. We got to find the ones that are... That'd be a great thing to send to joshpottershow@gmail.com is just a dead inside news lady that's very pretty and just waiting to be plucked out of the terrible swamp that is local news. Today's nominee, Jessica Vallejo. But please send in yours. I would love to see more from your hometown, from your neck of the woods, as Al Roker would say. But that's it for today, folks. The Josh Potter Show rides again, and we will have guests in the future. I've been talking with Greg Fitzsimmons. I'd love to have him on here, especially with his radio background, and we're just looking for a day he can do it. Many other guests, indeed. I forget who the other one I was talking to that I was excited about. But plates are spinning. Let's just put it that way, folks. And I hope I see you in Buffalo when I'm there for Thanksgiving weekend. I will be at Nietzsche's November 30th. Tickets are on sale up at thejoshpotter.com. Of course, I've got shows in Arizona with the great Saul Trujillo. I'm going to be at Chuckleheads in Bisbee, Stanhope's place there. I'm going to be there on December 6th with Saul. And then I'm going to be the next day in Yuma, Arizona at the Kress, a place I did with Chase last time, but I'll be doing it with Saul this time. So please to be buying those tickets. All of those links can be found at thejoshpotter.com. JoshPotterShow@gmail.com is where you can send in your Roach reportings, your music the way Odd Track Numbers has done today. And, of course, now what I want more than ever is your nominee for Dead Inside Newswoman. Please send those in. I can't wait to get. I'm going to start digging deep on my own, collecting some. But I appreciate you. Make sure you check out, subscribe, rate, review, that whole thing, so that we can keep the lights on here. And I love you very much. We'll see you next Wednesday on the Josh Potter Show.
Coming to 11 direct with the Roach. We shotgun the beers, ain't got time for a toast. It's the only place I get my sports like for real, son. He taught us nobody's more sus than Russell Wilson.
Here's the deal, son. Won't find us in Walmart. Josh Potter, keep it frank, kinda like a ballpark. It wasn't nothing talking all that jism. Turns out there's a lot of semen terrorism.
Now it's time we hit 'em. Bringing Votto to the plate. Roachy, your wards with Chase O'Donnell the Great. Let me stop for a second, cause it's Ask Marty time. Cause it's idiocy, you know I cannot abide.
Not a fan of these guys, gonna damage the rise. Worse than the host known as the Roach. Leave an idiot woman standing on the side, or looking like she just tripped into a moat.
I'ma kill this Henny beat like murder. Been in more studios than most have ever heard. I'm pleased to be listening. Hit that like and subscribe. So many Bills hats got the mafia vibe.
A lot to describe, like a Roach reporter. Teacher on OF, don't report her. Trying to live life with my mannequin wife and my mannequin kids, if that's my mannequin right.
Been a fan of this guy since the Roach Motel. Couple 100 weeks in, still funny as hell. From the tit cups to back sis and blind eyes, Potter has one of the best shows of all time.
Now watch this drive. Pop a couple tall cans with the Roach King and caught the vibe. Ready to pour more, scurry out the floorboards, hit like, comment, and subscribe.